I'm going to have all things. Don't you think that's the wrong way of looking at it? Once you have all things, how's your life going to actually react to having all those things that you have not had before? So I believe that the secret gets you there, but it doesn't tell you how to get to the next phase. What do you think?
I think that the ultimate secret, beyond what's being presented as the secret, the ultimate secret is that each and every one of us is a part of a universal consciousness. And when you recognize that you are part of a universal consciousness, then there is no need for personal ownership of anything. You know, when we feel as though I must have this or I must have that, and now I want to manipulate the laws of the universe to attract these things to myself, what I am doing is I am creating a prison for myself. The things that we think we own us. It's not a question of ownership. It's a question of stewardship. In reality, God, if you will, is the owner of all that is and is all that is. The Bible says we live, breathe, and have our being in the body of God. If you looked at that from a literal sense and you said, okay, let's just use our imaginations for a moment. Let's just say that there's some level of truth to this. We live, breathe, and have our being in the body of God. Okay, how can that be? What does that mean? It means that all physical manifestation, all that surrounds us, all things that we can touch, the body, the world around us, the car, the boat, the house, everything that exists, is also a part of this universal body that we're going to call God. Well, that being said, if all of it is God, and I, as a unit of consciousness, are part of that, then I've already got all of this. It's not a question of me having possession in mine, rather than it's God's, and now I'm a steward for it. It's now in my care. So I think the concept of ownership is something that we all have a problem with. That would be the personality self has to own something. And this is where we run into problems. This is where the concept of relationships, this your mind, so to speak, that isn't real, true, unconditional love. That's a fear-based thought, and we're entering into a contract together. You're mine, I'm yours, and now we're not talking about love any longer. We're talking about a fear-based relationship. And this is where our world has twisted things just a little bit. Everything in this world is about ownership. I own this home. See my title? Here's my title. I own this car. I own this. I own that. I own my family. Everything's about possession. And the moment you have this concept of ownership and possession, you're going to lose the bigger picture.
Right. So you're saying, here we have attachment. So what truly is detachment?
Detachment is exactly what I was just talking about. Detachment is recognizing that everything in creation is a part of a greater whole.
And what happens when you actually detach from all this?
Well, what happens when you no longer have a fear about losing something. You no longer have fears to live with.
You're not chained.
You are in chains.
You're not a slave.
You are free.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and again, this is one of the things that Christ alluded to when he said, you shall learn the truth and the truth shall set you free. This was the truth that was spoken about. This is what was really meant for people to grasp.
That is the real true secret.
That is the real true secret.
Yeah.
The real true secret is releasing your attachment to the form and possessions and ownership. And now you're free to explore and to experience the greater self.
Do you have to go through a certain God or figure? Let's just say Jesus Christ for this moment. Do you have to go through Jesus Christ to find true salvation? And What is really true salvation?
What we've been talking about is true salvation. True salvation is freeing oneself from the bonds and the chains and the shackles